Imagine standing on the edge of history, where ancient civilizations marveled at the mysteries of the universe, wondering how it all began. For millennia, the story of creation has ignited our fascination, raising questions that reach beyond science and history, questions about purpose, meaning, and the intricate design behind everything we see. But what if the story of creation was more than an ancient tale? What if it was a blueprint for our lives today? What if hidden within these 7 days lies a guide to understanding not only the world around us but our place within it? In this journey through the 7 days of creation, we will unlock the deeper meanings woven into each day. These are not just descriptions of how the world was made, they're lessons that reveal God's incredible plan for humanity and offer insights into our lives, our struggles, and our aspirations. We'll uncover the profound lessons in every stage of creation, from light and life to purpose and rest, and learn how these themes can inspire our growth, our faith, and our sense of connection to everything around us. From the first moment light pierced the darkness to the gift of rest on the Sabbath, each day reflects an essential part of God's design, offering us wisdom and direction. Together, let's embark on this journey to discover God's blueprint for creation and perhaps for our lives as well. If you want a part of a big family that grow in their faith, please subscribe to our channel, Bible Stories That Grow Your Faith. Click the notification bell to stay updated. Leave a comment with your thoughts or reflections, and share this journey with family and friends who seek to deepen their understanding of faith through inspirational biblical stories. Together, let's uncover the divine mysteries that continue to shape our lives. Day 1, Light and Darkness, the duality of existence. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and He separated the light from the darkness. Genesis 1:3-4. In the ancient Near East, many cultures held creation myths that featured chaos as a foundational element. The darkness often represented primordial chaos, an untamed force that needed to be subdued. In these myths, deities battled against chaos to bring forth order and light. The Genesis account, however, presents a different perspective. It begins with God, not as a deity fighting chaos, but as a sovereign creator who speaks light into existence with authority and purpose. This separation of light from darkness signifies a decisive act of creation where God imposes order on the universe. Light is seen as a manifestation of God's presence and goodness, while darkness often symbolizes the absence of divine order. By proclaiming that light is good, the narrative establishes the foundation for moral and ethical dichotomies that would later permeate biblical teachings. The very first act of creation was to bring light into the void. The creation of light signifies the ongoing battle between light and darkness, a theme prevalent in both our physical world and spiritual lives. Light represents knowledge, hope, and positivity, while darkness often symbolizes ignorance, despair, and fear. This duality compels us to choose how we respond to the challenges we face. As light symbolizes knowledge, hope, and truth, it serves as a powerful reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is a promise of illumination. The separation of light from darkness also highlights the importance of clarity in our lives. Reflective lessons. The creation of light serves as a profound metaphor for clarity and understanding. Light not only drives away physical darkness but also represents the enlightenment we seek in our lives. Just as God spoke light into existence, we can call forth light in our lives by seeking knowledge, embracing truth, and cultivating positive thoughts. The presence of darkness in our lives can often feel overwhelming, yet it is through our trials and challenges that we can appreciate the light when it arrives. Consider how light illuminates our path and helps us navigate through uncertainties. In moments of doubt, we can ask ourselves, what truths can guide us? What sources of knowledge can we lean on to bring clarity? Embracing light also means fostering an environment where others can thrive. When we choose to uplift those around us, we become beacons of hope, just as light brightens a dark room. As we ponder the significance of light in our lives, let's take a moment to reflect on these questions. What areas of your life feel shrouded in darkness, and how can you invite light into those situations? How do you personally define light in your life? Is it knowledge, hope, love, or something else? Can you recall a time when you found clarity or understanding in a challenging situation? What did you learn from that experience? What practices do you incorporate into your daily routine to invite more light into your life? In what ways can you be a source of light and encouragement to those around you? How do you differentiate between the light and darkness in your thoughts and actions? Day 2, Sky and Sea, Boundaries and Balance. On the second day, God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. Genesis 1:6-8. The separation of the sky and sea is reflective of ancient Mesopotamian cosmologies, where the heavens were often personified as deities and the waters as chaotic forces. For example, the Babylonian creation myth, Enuma Elish, describes a primordial struggle between the god Marduk and the goddess Tiamat, who represented the salt water. Marduk's victory results in the establishment of the heavens and the earth. In contrast, the Genesis account describes a calm and orderly separation, emphasizing that God has full control over creation. The vault created by God, known as the firmament, signifies the boundary between the heavens and the earth, reflecting an understanding of the natural world that is both functional and symbolic. This act of separation signifies not just physical boundaries, but also the establishment of divine authority and order over creation. The creation of the sky and sea introduces us to the beauty of boundaries. Just as God established a vault to separate the waters, we must recognize the importance of boundaries in our lives. They protect us, provide structure, and allow us to flourish. The separation of the sky and the sea highlights the importance of boundaries and the balance required for harmonious existence. Just as God established order in creation, we too must create boundaries that help us navigate our lives effectively. Finding balance between our responsibilities, emotions, and aspirations is key to our well-being. Reflective lessons. The separation of sky and sea invites us to reflect on the importance of balance and boundaries in our lives. Just as the sky and sea coexist in harmony, we too must find equilibrium in our personal and professional spheres. Establishing boundaries is not merely about saying no, it's about creating a space where we can thrive, protect our energy, and pursue our passions. In today's fast-paced world, it can be tempting to stretch ourselves too thin. Recognizing our limits can lead to more meaningful experiences and connections. By setting boundaries, we allow ourselves the freedom to explore our true potential. Furthermore, the sky and sea symbolize the vast possibilities available to us. While the sea represents emotions and depth, the sky symbolizes aspiration and freedom. Striking a balance between these elements can enrich our lives, providing both stability and inspiration. As we contemplate the significance of the sky and sea, let's turn our focus inward with these reflective questions. What boundaries do you currently have in your life, and how do they serve you? How do you maintain a balance between your emotional needs and your aspirations? Can you recall a time when a lack of boundaries led to stress or discomfort? What changes did you make afterward? What are some practices you can implement to create a more harmonious balance in your life? Day 3, Land and Vegetation. On the third day, God gathered the waters and made dry land appear. He called the dry land earth, and the gathered waters he called seas. Then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation." Genesis 1:9-11. The emergence of land and vegetation in the creation narrative can be understood in light of agricultural societies in the ancient Near East, where the fertility of the land was paramount for survival. In cultures such as the Sumerians and Egyptians, the land was often viewed as a gift from the gods, and agricultural deities were worshipped for the bounty they provided. In the Genesis account, God's command for the earth to produce vegetation underscores his role as the ultimate source of life. The specificity of seed-bearing plants and trees that bear fruit reflects the importance of sustainable agriculture and stewardship of the earth. This act not only establishes the physical landscape but also serves as a theological declaration that all creation is dependent on God for sustenance and growth. The emergence of land and vegetation speaks to the importance of nurturing our roots. Just as plants require soil, sunlight, and water to thrive, we too need a solid foundation: our values, beliefs, and relationships. The emergence of land and vegetation serves as a powerful reminder of the necessity of nurturing growth both in ourselves and in our communities. It emphasizes the importance of cultivating our gifts and the potential for new life when we invest time and effort into personal development. Reflective lessons. The emergence of land and vegetation signifies the power of growth and nurturing. Just as plants need proper care to flourish, we too need to tend to our inner lives and relationships. The process of growth is often slow and requires patience, yet the results can be profoundly rewarding. Reflecting on what nourishes us, whether it be knowledge, relationships, or passions, can guide our personal development. Consider the roots of your identity. Are you nurturing the aspects of yourself that contribute to your overall well-being? Are you investing time in what truly matters to you? Furthermore, the diversity of plants and ecosystems teaches us about the importance of community. Just as various species coexist and support one another in nature, we can thrive in our communities by celebrating our differences and supporting one another's growth. Let's take a moment to ponder the role of land and vegetation in our lives with these reflective questions. What areas of your life require more nurturing, and how can you commit to that growth? Who are the people in your life that support your personal development, and how can you show gratitude for their presence? How do you respond to setbacks in your growth journey? What lessons have you learned from those experiences? In what ways do you contribute to the growth and well-being of those around you? Day 4. Celestial bodies, time and rhythm. On the fourth day, God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night," and it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. Genesis 1:14-16. In ancient cultures, celestial bodies were often deified and viewed as controlling the rhythms of life on Earth. The sun and moon were associated with various gods and were integral to calendars, navigation, and agricultural cycles. The Egyptians, for example, worshipped Ra as the sun god, who was believed to bring light and order to the world. The Genesis account contrasts with this polytheistic view by presenting the sun, moon, and stars as created entities, mere creations of the one true God rather than divine beings. This reflects a monotheistic perspective that emphasizes God's sovereignty over all creation. The description of the celestial bodies serving as signs to mark sacred times highlights their role in establishing order and rhythm in human life, reinforcing the idea that God is deeply involved in the cycles of time and creation. The creation of the sun, moon, and stars introduces the concept of time and the natural rhythms that govern our lives. Understanding these cycles allows us to appreciate both the fleeting moments and the enduring truths of life. Embracing these rhythms can lead to a more harmonious and fulfilling existence. These celestial bodies not only mark time but also symbolize guidance, hope, and inspiration. Just as the sun provides light during the day, we can seek sources of light in our lives that guide our paths. Reflective lessons. The creation of the sun, moon, and stars speaks to the rhythms and cycles of our lives. Just as celestial bodies mark the passage of time, we too have cycles that influence our experiences. Understanding these rhythms can help us cultivate practices that honor our needs for rest and activity. It's essential to recognize the seasons of our lives, acknowledging that growth often comes in phases. As we navigate our personal journeys, we may encounter periods of brightness and inspiration alongside times of shadow and reflection. Embracing these cycles can lead to deeper self-awareness and resilience. The sun and moon also symbolize the balance between activity and rest. While the sun provides energy and vitality, the moon offers tranquility and reflection. How do you incorporate both elements into your life to maintain harmony? As we contemplate the celestial bodies, let's reflect on these questions. How do you recognize and honor the different seasons of your life? What practices help you find balance between activity and rest in your daily routine? Can you think of a time when embracing a period of rest led to a breakthrough in your personal or professional life? How do you draw inspiration from the rhythms of nature in your decision-making? Day 5. Creatures of water and sky, diversity and community. On the fifth day, God created the creatures of the sea and the birds of the air, saying, "Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." Genesis 1:20-22. The creation of sea creatures and birds reflects ancient Near Eastern beliefs about the significance of these creatures in the ecosystem. Many cultures revered animals and viewed them as embodiments of divine attributes. The Mesopotamians, for example, had various deities associated with animals, and the sea was often seen as a chaotic element needing control. In the Genesis narrative, God's creative act of populating the seas and skies reinforces his authority over all living beings. The distinction between different kinds of creatures highlights a divine design and order within the natural world. This emphasis on diversity echoes the belief in a creator who values each part of creation, encouraging humans to appreciate and protect the life around them. The abundance of life in the water and sky symbolizes the beauty of diversity. God's creation is a tapestry woven with unique threads, each contributing to the whole. Each creature plays a unique role in the ecosystem, just as each person contributes to the richness of our communities. As human beings, we too possess diverse gifts and talents that can enrich the world around us. Celebrating our differences fosters understanding, empathy, and connection. Reflective lessons. The creation of creatures in the sea and sky serves as a celebration of diversity. Every creature plays a unique role in the ecosystem, just as each individual contributes something special to the tapestry of life. Embracing our uniqueness and the uniqueness of others is crucial for building meaningful connections and fostering understanding within our communities. When we recognize the value in diversity, we cultivate a culture of empathy and inclusion. This not only enriches our experiences but also deepens our understanding of the world around us. Furthermore, the call to be fruitful and multiply reminds us of our responsibility to contribute positively to our environment and society. How can we use our unique gifts to uplift others and promote harmony in our communities? As we think about the creatures of water and sky, let's reflect on these questions. In what ways do you celebrate diversity in your relationships and community? How do you leverage your unique gifts to make a positive impact in the lives of others? Can you share an experience where diversity enriched your understanding or perspective? What steps can you take to foster a culture of inclusion in your environment? Day 6, Creation of Humanity, Identity and Purpose. On the sixth day, God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female, He created them. Genesis 1:27. The creation of humanity in God's image stands as a revolutionary concept in the ancient world, where humans were often seen as subjects or slaves of the gods. In Babylonian mythology, humans were created from the blood of a defeated god, meant to serve the gods and relieve them of labor. In contrast, the Genesis account asserts that humanity is created intentionally and purposefully, reflecting the divine image and imbued with dignity and value. This creation of humanity is also significant in establishing relationships with God, with one another, and with creation. The notion that humans are made in the image of God, imago Dei, implies inherent worth and the capacity for moral decision-making, creativity, and love. It establishes a foundation for human rights and ethical responsibility within the biblical worldview. The creation of humanity holds immense significance. Being made in God's image is a powerful truth that shapes our identity and purpose. We are not mere accidents, we are intentional creations, designed to reflect the divine. The creation of humanity in God's image underscores our inherent worth and the purpose we carry. Understanding our identity as reflections of the divine inspires us to live intentionally and responsibly. We are called to use our unique gifts to impact the world positively. Reflective lessons. The creation of humanity in God's image highlights our inherent worth and purpose. Understanding that we are reflections of the divine allows us to approach our lives with intention and responsibility. We are not just passive inhabitants of this world, we are co-creators, empowered to make choices that shape our lives and impact those around us. Embracing our identity as creations in God's image can inspire us to live authentically, pursue our passions, and strive for excellence. Moreover, this truth compels us to treat others with dignity and respect. Recognizing the divine spark in each person fosters compassion and encourages us to advocate for justice and equity in our communities. Let's take a moment to ponder the significance of our identity as creations of God with these reflective questions. How do you perceive your worth and purpose in the context of being created in God's image? In what ways do you strive to live authentically and align your actions with your values? Can you think of a time when you saw the divine spark in someone else? How did that change your perspective on them? How do you advocate for the dignity and worth of others in your community? Day 7. The Sabbath, Rest and Reflection. On the seventh day, God had finished the work He had been doing, so on the seventh day He rested from all His work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. Genesis 2:2-3. The establishment of the Sabbath is rooted in the cultural and religious practices of the ancient Israelites. In contrast to surrounding cultures that often demanded continuous labor from their citizens, the Sabbath provides a radical counter-narrative emphasizing rest and divine worship. It is a day set apart for reflection, renewal, and relationship with God. In ancient Israel, the Sabbath was not only a day of rest but also a sign of the covenant between God and His people. This concept served to remind the Israelites of their liberation from slavery in Egypt and their identity as God's chosen people. By resting, they acknowledged God's sovereignty over time and creation, reinforcing the idea that productivity is not merely a human endeavor but a partnership with the Creator. The Sabbath embodies the importance of rest and reflection. In a world that often values busyness over balance, the concept of taking time to pause is crucial for our well-being. Rest is not merely the absence of work, it is a sacred practice that rejuvenates our souls. The establishment of the Sabbath highlights the necessity of rest in our busy lives. It serves as a reminder to pause, reflect, and reconnect with our purpose. Embracing rest allows us to recharge physically, mentally, and spiritually, enabling us to approach our lives with renewed energy and clarity. Reflective lessons. The establishment of the Sabbath invites us to embrace the necessity of rest and reflection. In our relentless pursuit of achievement, we often overlook the importance of pausing to rejuvenate our bodies and spirits. The Sabbath teaches us that rest is not a sign of weakness but a vital component of a balanced life. Taking time to rest allows us to reconnect with our inner selves and our Creator. This sacred pause provides an opportunity for reflection, gratitude, and renewal. In a world that constantly demands our attention, intentionally carving out time for rest can lead to deeper clarity and purpose. Additionally, the Sabbath serves as a reminder to appreciate the beauty of creation. By stepping back, we can cultivate a sense of gratitude for the world around us and recognize the blessings in our lives. As we contemplate the significance of rest, let's reflect on these questions. How do you prioritize rest in your life? And what practices do you find most rejuvenating? What role does reflection play in your spiritual and personal growth? Can you share a moment when taking time for rest led to a breakthrough or new understanding in your life? How do you express gratitude for the beauty and blessings in your life during your moments of rest? To round up, as we've journeyed through the 7 days of creation, we've uncovered powerful insights about light and darkness, boundaries, nurturing growth, celestial rhythms, diversity, our identity, and the importance of rest. Each day offers us a unique lesson that can enhance our lives and deepen our connection with God. I encourage you to reflect on these themes and consider how they can inform your daily life. What changes can you make to embrace the lessons of creation in your journey? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. How have these lessons impacted your life? Share your reflections in the comments below, and let's foster a community of growth and understanding. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 7 days of creation. Your presence and engagement means so much to me. It's your curiosity and desire for deeper understanding that bring these stories to life, connecting us not just to our faith, but to each other across time and space. If you found value in today's video and are eager for more insights into biblical stories and their meanings, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Bible Stories That Grow Your Faith. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications about our latest videos so you won't miss any of our journeys through these ancient texts. I encourage you to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or questions about today's topic. What did you find most intriguing about the 7 days of creation? Let's discuss and grow together. And if you think friends or family could benefit from this series, please share this video with them. Together, let's continue this enriching journey of discovery and growth.